What's up guys and welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about 6 products that I've curated and put together and that I believe are, first of all, very underrated, really good, and are also pretty inexpensive because all of them are under $10, I believe. I think maybe 11 if it's like really technical, but let's just say $10 just to like round it all out. I also wanted to show you guys what these products actually look like in action and how they apply. So I did film myself putting all the products that I'm talking about today on my face so that you guys can actually see what they look like. I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy today's video and hopefully you'll find something really fun to try out. And if you have tried any of the products that I'm going to be talking about today, please let me know all of your thoughts down below. And also let me know if you have any products in mind that you feel like are underrated and are really affordable. I would love to get some great product recommendations for you guys down in the comments. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so the very first product that I want to talk about is probably the product that I am most excited about in the little bunch that I have put together today, and it is this eyeshadow palette from Rimmel, and it's called the Magnifies Crimson Edition Eye Contouring Palette. Now, Rimmel has come out with a few palettes in this lineup. They had one that was literally an exact dupe to the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. When I say it's an exact dupe, it's literally color by color the exact same thing. And when I had tried that palette, I was really impressed. I really liked the pigmentation, the mattes blended well, the metallics showed up beautifully on the eyes, and they had a really nice punch to them. So I was really excited when I saw that they came out with another one of these palettes. Now this isn't an exact dupe for another high-end palette that I can think of off the top of my head, but if you've noticed, pinks are like a really big thing right now. I feel like pink is really having a big moment, especially in makeup. A lot of people are really embracing it. I am also. Pink has just been like my favorite color to wear. I feel like it's sort of just like the younger, cooler sister of the warm, smoky eye. So the thing with trendy makeup is that it's just that, it's trendy. So sometimes you don't really want to spend like 50 bucks, 60 bucks on like a pink themed eyeshadow palette if you don't really know if it's a trend that's going to stick or if it's a trend that you're even really gonna like. So I feel like it's always nice to have a more affordable option if you want to try the trend but you don't really want to like break the bank. And this little palette from Rimmel is literally like the most perfect pink themed palette that I have seen at the drugstore, and honestly even like high-end. I've been really looking for a great pink themed palette that really has everything that I want and need in order to create like a full look and that is also wearable but equally fun, and this really does have like all of that. What I love and appreciate so much about this palette are all of the mattes that are in here. Mattes, as you guys probably know, are the foundation to a lot of different eye looks. Really no matter the eye look, I really feel like mattes are the most important types of eyeshadows to create depth and to really shape the eye. So I always do really appreciate when a eyeshadow palette has just like a really good amount of mattes. The mattes are also not chalky whatsoever. You can see in the little demo that I did that they apply just so beautifully. They're very pigmented and they really just like blend out nicely. I will say though that these really aren't the most like creamy and pigmented eyeshadows I've ever tried, but that's not a bad thing at all, especially if you are more of like a beginner in makeup. You don't really want an eyeshadow that's like overly pigmented or overly creamy because when you apply it to your eye, it's like almost too intense and then it makes it just a little bit more difficult to actually work with and blend out. So when you have something that still blends really nicely but it doesn't give you that really intense color payoff right off the bat, it just makes it way more wearable, way more easy to work with, and especially with colors that are a little bit more punchy, like these pinks that are a little bit more like out of the box, it's nice to be able to control them a little bit better with a more buildable formula. I just think that it's such a great fun palette, and it's sometimes really hard to find these types of more like trendy, cool, wearable, but also different palettes at the drugstore, and I think that this is really such a great find and pretty affordable. So would definitely highly recommend you guys check this one out. All right, next up, let's talk about the little glow that I have going on the tops of my cheekbones. This is the Essence Glow to Glow. Wow, that is a freaking tongue twister. Glow to Go highlighter palette, and this is what it looks like. There are 4 highlighters in this little highlighter palette. You have more of like a champagne shade, a pinky shade, a deeper gold, and then more of like a cool toned champagne. Everybody knows of the Essence Pure Nude highlighters. I have the Space Lighter right over here, but the original more champagne one is a very popular one from the Essence lineup, and it's popular for a really good reason because the formula is freaking incredible. I do find it a little bit more difficult to find a powder highlighter that gives you that like creamy glossy glow without accentuating texture or anything like that. That's not too sparkly and shimmery. However, I do feel like the Essence highlighters, because of the formula, because it is such a finely milled and smooth powder that has like really no visible shimmer in it. It's very like just smooth. It is so flattering and it really gives you that very glossy, beautiful glow. So the highlighters in this palette I feel like are just a little bit more intense compared to the Essence Pure Nude highlighters, but they're equally as flattering and glossy looking on the skin. I am wearing these two first shades right over here on the tops of my cheekbones, and you can see just how beautiful this glow is. Again, it's just like one of those powder highlighters that just glides on the skin, that doesn't accentuate texture, that just makes your skin look glossy and gorgeous and glowy without it being too much. And I also want to say that I really appreciate the fact that all these colors in this palette are a little bit more on the muted side. For me, I don't really love like a very strong color for my highlighter. I don't want my highlighter to be like too pink or too gold or too champagne. I like it when it just sort of meshes with my skin, to be honest with you. And all these colors in here are quite muted. Like even the gold isn't like a gold. It's a little bit of a softer, more wearable gold. And the pink also isn't like a super loud pink that just like screams pink reflex when it's on tops of your cheekbones. It's definitely a little bit more subtle, which just makes it more wearable for a wider variety of skin tones. So that's really all I gotta say about this highlighter palette. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you could just see on tops of my cheekbones right now. It sort of speaks for itself. So next up, I wanna talk about some eye toppers from Milani that I love. So these are the Milani Hypnotic Lights Holographic Eye Toppers. Now, these are basically just like sheer-ish glitters that you could put either like on its own on your eyes, or you could layer them on top of other eyeshadows on your eyes in order to give like a really beautiful, sparkly, holographic effect. Now, these types of eye toppers really are some of my like all-time favorite makeup items. It's one of those makeup items that I really feel like makes the biggest difference when you apply them. Like you could have the simplest eye look on, you could have literally just like a freaking bronzer in your crease, but as soon as you put an eye topper on, whether it's a simpler one that's just like a plain glitter or more of a holographic one like one of these, it will take your eye look from like 0 to 100 really, really quickly. And it just adds that like extra bit of impact with literally no effort. So on my eyes today, I'm wearing the shade 02 Luminous Light, which is probably my favorite in the collection because it just has like the most beautiful, very subtle like pink sparkle to it. I will say though that these can be slightly tricky to apply. I feel like they do work better when you apply them on the back of your hand first and then you go in with your finger and dab it on your lid. I do find that if I go in straight with like the doe foot applicator directly onto my eye, it can get just like a little bit streaky. So I would recommend just being patient with the product and applying it with your finger and smoothing it out that way, and you're gonna get a really beautiful effect. So that is the third product that I would recommend to you guys. So next up, I want to talk about a lip product from NYX. This is the Powder Puff Lippy Powder Lip Cream. So if you're the type of person who likes a lip color that is a little bit more muted, that is somewhat more on like the natural side, that sort of just like gives your lips a little bit of color, but is also not like high maintenance, then this is the most perfect product for you. So this is called a powder lip cream, and that really describes the product perfectly. So it basically comes in this little squeezy tube, and you have this little sponge applicator, and then when you apply this to your lips, you just take the sponge applicator, you dab it on your lips, and it just gives your lips like the prettiest wash of color that is really natural looking, and almost give your lips that like just bitten look, which is really pretty. But I also really love a good glossy lip, so I just layered a little bit of like my clear gloss on top. This is Diamond Milk from Fenty, just to give it a little bit of shine. And it just wears really well. Like as it fades throughout the day, it fades in a very natural way. So if you're looking for a product that gives your lips color, but is still also natural looking and easy to wear, these are absolutely beautiful and so underrated. Next up, I want to talk about a lip liner. Now I have spoken about these in the past. I feel like I haven't mentioned them though in a while, so I sort of wanted to like bring them back to the surface because they're so great, and I sort of have fallen back in love with them. I honestly forgot about them for a little bit. I've been using some other lip liners that I have in my collection, but as I was sifting through them the other day, I found some of my Annabelle Big Show gel lip liners, and I remembered how much I love them. So these lip liners are extremely creamy and gel-like. So when you apply them to your skin, you can see just like from the little swatch that I did, they just glide on with absolutely no effort. And they don't glide on and then just like instantly wipe away, because that could be a problem with really creamy lip liners. Not only do they glide on, but they actually do stay in place. I think these are so comparable to the Makeup Forever Aqua Lips, which is probably one of my all-time favorite lip liner formulas. They really are so incredibly similar in the formula, in the feel, in the way that they last, and obviously they're way less expensive. So there's really not much else to say about this because it is just a lip liner. I just think that they're some of the best, and I really do love them quite a bit. Alrighty, the very last product that I want to talk about today is from Maybelline, and this is the Tattoo Studio Brow Tint Pen in 360 medium brown. That's the color that I use today. So I recently tested out this product in a video and I completely fell in love with it. Now, I've been really into brow markers lately because I feel like they are very natural looking if used correctly. If you just use very small hair-like strokes with a brow marker, you're gonna be left with a very natural looking eyebrow that just looks naturally full and bushy, and I find it just doesn't give the look of like a filled-in brow. And I was really impressed when I tried the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Tint Pen because I feel like this is a little bit more of like a unique brow marker. So the actual applicator sort of looks like a little fork. So because it has that like fork applicator, when you apply to your brows, it just gives a very natural looking hair-like stroke very easily. There are other brow pens out there that I really love. This one, however, because of that applicator, I feel like just sets it apart. And for my own brows, I really love the look of like very bushy and bold brows, but nothing that's too intense or blocky. And I feel like I was really able to achieve that with this product. So guys, that actually finishes off today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Don't forget to let me know all of your thoughts down below. If you've tried these products before, what are your thoughts on them? And don't forget to give me your own suggestions for some underrated, under $10 products so that everybody could, you know, get some good suggestions in the comments. Of course, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.